One thing that confuses people for the first time, if they've never been in a Tesla, is the door handle. You may be wondering, how do you get in? There's no, you can't stick your hand in like a normal door handle and pull it to open it. So this is very easy. You typically just take your thumb or any finger and you poke, and the handle pops out just like that. And then it opens the door. And then you can pull it. So I take my thumb, I push it in, I just pull the handle out, and that's how you open the door to the Tesla, just like that. So same in the back here. If you want to open it up, you can use your index finger, you can pull out, grab the handle, and you can open the door just like that. You can do this on all 4 doors, and that's how you open a Tesla door. You just put your thumb there and you pull, and it opens the door. We can do it on this side here. You put your thumb here and you pull, and it opens the door. So this is something you typically have to teach people that have never been in a Tesla. How do you open the door? It's a very simple thing once you learn how to use it. But for most car owners that have never used an EV or a Tesla, they have no idea. They just think this could be a design flaw. You definitely should have something easier. I don't think, an elementary school person could probably figure this out without having previous experience and knowing that they need to push this in and pull it out in order to open the door. So it's very simple. Another confusing thing for this, though, is during cold moments or snow, this can end up freezing. So if you live in an area where it snows all the time and it gets really cold, then you can wake up and this whole component right here can be frozen, and you won't necessarily be able to push it out because it'll be frozen solid. So the people that designed this did not think about cold winter moments when you have a Tesla, because you end up having to break the ice by putting a little pressure on it. In this case it's raining, there's no ice here, but if this was frozen and there was ice, you would have to break the ice off a little bit before you can push in and then open up your door. So I know in some Tesla models too, you can use the app to open the door, and that makes it a bit easier. And in this particular Model 3 here, you'll need to, knock off some of that frozen ice if you're in one of those situations to open the door. So that is how you open the door inside of a Tesla. It's very simple. We can take a look, unlike any normal other door handle on a car, you just open it by pulling it. The Tesla is very different, where you have to end up pushing your thumb in and opening it up, and using this interestingly designed and crazily engineered product. So very interesting choices from the design team at Tesla in order to open up a product as simple as a door. Very different, but it looks like it's the trend of most EVs now. You see new EVs coming out where they're electric cars, and they're copying this model. I don't know why, but it seems to work. They're hiding the door handle right here inside of the car itself, and just pull it out to access the car door. So that's how you open a car door, as simple as the Tesla. Now we're inside of the Tesla, and you may be wondering, how do you open the car door once you're inside of it? If I want to exit this does not look like a traditional car at all. There's no door handle that you pull to open it. Tesla has made this very simple, and all you have to do is just press this button to exit. So if we look at the car door here, we just press this button and it opens the door just like that for us, and we push and exit. So a couple things happen when you open a car door like a Tesla. One thing you may notice is you can hear the window rolling down, and this protects the window trim because it ends up sealing the door. Once you close it, it rolls the window all the way up and it seals the door inside. But when you open the door, whether it's from the inside or the out, it rolls the window down so the seal doesn't get broken. So you can just go ahead and press this button. You hear the window, it comes down, and it allows you to open the door just like that. So you may be in a case where you need to open this up because this is an electric open. It uses the normal car battery to open this up. But if you lose power in your Tesla, even the smaller battery that's inside, if that battery dies, there's no way to quickly recharge it while you're inside the car, and you may need to use the emergency release handle in order to open up your car door. So if the power ever dies inside of the car, and if the power dies and you can't use the button to open it, there's an emergency release handle right here that manually opens the door inside of a Tesla. And this is, of course, for this specific model, the Model 3 2020. All you have to do is just pull up, and you can kind of see there, you just pull this up on the side. So I'll try to get a perfect view. You can see this outline right here. You pull this up and it opens up the car door just like that manually. So this, of course, can happen and damage the trim if you do it often, and of course if it loses power. So you can see manual door release use may cause damage to window trim. So if you open this and the power is gone, the window itself will not roll down and it can cause damage to the window trim. So this is just this release latch right here, the emergency release latch that's manual. You can use this in the case of the power being lost to the car and this button not working. So if this button does not work, you just pull this up and it will allow you to exit. We've seen stories where Tesla owners have been trapped in their car because their small battery dies and it will not allow them to exit the car, but this button will no longer work, and they don't know about this emergency latch right here. So it's really important that you practice this at least once, that you know how to pull this open in the case that you do lose power in your Tesla and you need to access the emergency, the manual release right here. So you just pull that up and it allows the door to manually open without power. So that's how you exit. So we'll demo that really quick. One last time, all you have to do, if this button, you press this button one time and that opens the door, you just push open after you press the button. That is the normal way to exit the car. And in the case of an emergency where you lose power, then all you have to do is just pull this up and it opens the door too. So you've got multiple ways to open the door. One for an emergency in the case of you losing power in your car, and then the normal way is just by pressing this button. I think this is really cool that all you have to do is just press the button. You don't even have to put any force on it. You just press this button one time and it just pops the door open itself, just like that. Like there's no pressure here and the door is already popped open, and then you just add additional pressure to open it all the way. So really cool options that we have inside of the car in order to exit. It is a bit untraditional and very different from normal cars because, again, there is no door handle in this car at all. You have to press this it's more like a digital button in a way. It's a physical button, but it uses electricity and it uses the car power to push the door open. And then this is the manual option right here, as you can see that cutout. And of course, if you want to roll down your window, you've got the window button right here, and it rolls down just like that, and you can roll it up just like that. So really cool options that we've got in the Tesla. So that is how you exit and enter the car. Here I am inside of the Tesla app. I'm going to show you how you can purchase additional keys for your Tesla. You'll open the application and scroll. I'm going to scroll. Upgrades is near the bottom here. This is where you can select and shop around to get additional things for your Tesla. And we've got three options here. Software upgrades, things like autopilot, the extended service agreement, and accessories. We're going to go ahead and select the accessories component right here, and here you can find all the accessories for the model that you have. You can scroll, you can see their best sellers, you can see floor mats, the interior, the exterior, wheels and tires, and parts, along with keys. And here we're going to see what it looks like to purchase a new key. So you got the Model 3 key band at $18, the 2 key cards for $40, and then the Model 3/Y key fob for $175. So here inside of the upgrades component under accessories, you can purchase new keys for your Tesla and set them up when you get in the car. So you can just tap on whichever item you want, and we can see here the key card, $40 for Tesla, Model S, Model 3, and Model X alongside Model Y. Vehicles come with 2 key cards. And you can go ahead and set up these 2 key cards. It comes with the fold to keep them in, and it comes with instructions. You can see several photos of what it looks like. So you may want to give one to a family member or a friend or whoever's using the car. Temporarily, you can hand them the key card and then they can use it. So we can go ahead and press this add to cart button like this, and it adds it to the cart. And the cart pops up in the bottom right here with a little 1 for the check the cart, the checkout options, and we can see here, all we have to do is just come over here and select our shipping address. We can use Apple Pay. We can add in a billing address. You can select your various different card payments, whether it's Apple Pay or a card on file. You can add a gift card and add a voucher. So I'm going to go ahead and add in my billing address and add in all the details with Apple Pay and submit this purchase to get additional key cards. And look what we have here. The Tesla key cards came in extremely fast. Comes in a nice little package like this. And all you have to do is just unbox it and open it up, and you're presented with some very nice packaging. You can see right here it says Tesla on the very front of it. It's enclosed in this plastic, and we'll be able to open this up and go ahead and take out the key cards. So I'm looking around. I don't see any specific cutouts for us to take this out. It may look like we may need to rip the plastic, but actually I found it. It's right up here. There's a little component right here that allows you to lift up the plastic and take out the key cards. So just lift it up just like that, and we pull out the key cards. So it comes in this nice fold with the Tesla logo right here on the top. You can see it reflecting on the top right there. And inside you have the key cards. There's nothing on the back. It just says made in France. And you've got both of your key cards, one on the left side and one on the right side. So you can see the Tesla logo right there on the front of the key card, and some instructions on what to do on the back. So that's all there is to the key cards. We'll go ahead and pair these with the car in a second. But you can see the first one there and the second one right here on the right. You get two of them, and you can pair them inside of the car after you get them. In order to pair these, though, you do need the original key card that came with your car. You cannot pair them without that. So that's super important to get. So you'll need the original key card that actually unlocks your car. And then we'll be able to pair these with the operating system inside the Tesla. So we'll go ahead and try that out. So that's the unboxing there of the Tesla keys. You know, it's an additional upgrade or purchase. You can buy more keys for your Tesla car, and that's what we did here. I think these came within 24 to 48 hours. I think I placed the order, and the next day or two I got it. It came extremely fast. I didn't have to wait a whole week for these to come in, and that was really nice. So I really appreciate the speed, the shipping speed that these came in on. I didn't have to wait a whole ton. And it's really cool that on Tesla cars that you can, you know, add additional keys. Unlike traditional cars, if you had to go get an additional key, it would be a whole process, setting up an appointment at the service center, them having to copy your key. It would be like a whole mess in order to get an additional key or a third key with, you know, a traditional gas-powered car. But with the Tesla car, it's done right in the operating system and the software yourself. You don't have to call Tesla. You don't have to take it to a Tesla service center. You can actually add these keys within the operating system itself, and the operating system is smart enough to allow you to add multiple keys. So I think that's a really cool feature of the Tesla cars. You can add additional keys and purchase them right on the website and add them yourself without the need to taking your car to a service center. So really cool feature that they built right into Tesla. So that's the quick unboxing there of the Tesla keys. Let's go ahead and add these keys into our car and go from there. All right, so we're inside the car and we have our Tesla key cards that we're going to pair right here, the left one and then the right one. So I'm going to go ahead and take out the left one first. You will need your original key card. So in my wallet here, I'm going to take out my original key card. That allows me to open access to the car doors and start the engine. So you need both of these. After you press this car button right here, you'll want to scroll down and select the locks button. So I'll go ahead and tap on locks on the side here, and it will pull up my keys. So on the right side here, I have all the access to, you know, the phones that are logged in for keys, and then all the key cards that are logged in. You can also scroll down for child lock and window lock and car left open notifications and more. So I want to go ahead, in order to add a brand new key, you're going to press this button at the very top that says add a key. And remember, you need your original key card that unlocks your car and starts the engine, and then your brand new key card that we just got inside our package in the mail. Want a bite-sized version of technology news? Try TLDR's free daily newsletter. TLDR covers the most interesting technology, science, and coding in just 5 minutes. Subscribe using the link in the description completely for free. So I'm just going to press the add key button, and then it's going to ask what kind of key. You can add a phone key, select your vehicle in the Tesla mobile app to begin, or you can add a key fob or a key card. In this case, we are adding a key card. So we're going to scan your new key behind the cup holder to begin. So I'm going to angle the camera down to show you more of how this works. When you look behind the cup holder right here, this is the sensor that detects when you start your car and start the engine with your key card. So it wants us to scan the new key behind the cup holder to begin. So I'll go ahead and take my brand new key here, and I'm gonna put it and place it right on top here and scan it. And it's gonna scan the key card just like that. So now it's pairing with it because I put my key card right here behind the cup holder, and you heard the notification sound. It buzzed in. So this is the brand new key card that I just set up right here. And now it wants us to tap an existing key card to approve pairing. So the existing key card is the key card that came with the car, is the key card that already unlocks the door and already starts the engine. So it looks like I did that too slowly, and it resets. So I'm going to press this add key button one more time. I'm going to take the brand new key card, scan it under the cup holder. It will buzz, and now it wants us to take the existing key card, and you see this animation here. You want to take the existing one and put it right underneath the cup holder too, and now that key has been added. So now the key in the left starts the car, and the key on the right starts the car now. And I got a notification that says a key has been added to your car. If you don't recognize this activity, delete the key from the lock screen. So you can see here, I can modify all the keys that we have right here in the key screen, and you can see 11:23 a.m. unknown key added. I can come here, assign this key to a person like me, and you can see my name comes next to it. I'm going to take my name off of it. I can also name it anything else. Actually, I'll go ahead and assign this key to me, and then I'll put 2024 key card as the name, and then we'll put also the month, March, and then we'll save. So there we go. I just added an additional key card to the Tesla app, just like this. And again, this is one of the cool features for Tesla that you don't traditionally get, because if you take a normal car to a dealership, it can be over $100 just to get an additional key fob. This cost $40, and I got 2 key fobs, and I didn't have to take it anywhere. I got this very fast, and all I had to do was just pair it inside the app. I'm going to go ahead and pair this one in the right. You'll get to see what that looks like. So I'll take the key card out on the right, and then for this one, I'm going to switch profiles as we pair this card. So I'm in a different profile here, and I'm just going to go ahead and repeat the same process. We're going to add this brand new key to the car, and this is the original key card that came with it. So all you have to do is, press that driver button, press on locks, and after locks is set up, under keys, you want to press the add key button in the top right. You'll press that, and then we'll add a key fob or key card. Just scan your new key behind the cup holder to begin. All you have to do is just take the brand new key, put it behind the cup holder as you saw earlier, and it buzzes, it beeps, and it lets us know that it found a brand new key. And now we tap the existing key card to approve pairing. So it shows you a little animation here. You take the existing key card, which is right here, the one that came with the car, and you tap it underneath the cup holder and it adds it successfully to the car. And just like that, we've added a brand new key card to the car. And then I can come over here. You can see an unknown key was added at 11:26. We can go ahead and assign this key to the profile, and then we'll go ahead and type in here. We'll type in key, and then we'll hit save. And then just like that, we've added an additional key card to the Tesla. So it makes it really easy to come in here and add additional key cards. Unlike, additional or normal cars where you have to go to the dealership, Tesla allows you to do this straight from your touchscreen computer, and it makes it very fascinating to come in here and modify all the different key cards. And you can see you can remove some, you can edit them, you can assign them to a person or a profile, so every time they unlock the car, then that specific profile automatically turns on the Tesla. So it's very smart, very cool, in a really neat way. And I really appreciate the way Tesla has allowed us to come in here and add as additional key cards as we need to without needing to take it to the Tesla service center in order to get service for it. So that's a quick, intro there of how you, purchase a key card, how you go ahead and unpackage it and then set it up inside the car. It made it really easy for us to do this. And of course, now we have additional key cards that we can hand out. We can give them to friends, family members, or we can keep one at home in case we get locked out. So we got additional key cards just like that for us. And it was really affordable, around $40 to add additional key cards, and really cheap. And we didn't have to take it into a service center to get an additional key programmed for us. So really cool stuff from Tesla. I'm going to go ahead and wrap these keys up, and I'll have an extra backup key, and one for a family member and then one for me. So really cool that we were able to set this up inside the Tesla app. Very cool. Let's see what else we have inside the Tesla to check out. In order to power the screen on, if it doesn't turn on or if it turns off while you're inside the car, all you have to do is just press the brake pedal in order to turn the screen on. And that will power on the car, and you'll be presented with a map of your current location of where you're at. You'll have your lovely car. This is a 3D model. You can move this around and play around with it, so it makes it very fun to interact with. You've got your music controls at the very bottom. You can tap your music and it opens up. Here we have Spotify set up, but you can also scroll up and select other sources. You can see your songs, your different albums, podcasts, everything that you listen to on Spotify that's connected. You can go to your favorites. Right now we've got a few radio stations as our favorites, so we can listen to the radio. We set that up. We can go to our sources. You've got things like Spotify, karaoke mode, streaming, Bluetooth, Apple Podcasts, Apple Music, TuneIn, Tidal, and Radio. We'll go over some of these additional sources later in the video, but for now, let's just take a look at the overall driving process. You can navigate to anywhere you want by pressing the navigate button and typing in an address, and it will take you to it. This 3D model is very interactive. You can see here that you can open the frunk just by tapping it. You can lock your car doors. It makes a nice little locking sound. You can unlock the cars, and then you can open the trunk too, and you can also open the charging port just by pressing the charging connector there. We're going to go ahead and demo some of this for you right now. You can see that it is drizzling a little bit, so let's demo the wipers really quick. The wipers are on the very end of your stick on the left. There's one button right there. You can go ahead and press that once, and your wipers will activate. Now, this was really confusing for me at first because I didn't know that the wipers pop up on the screen. I was wondering, how do we make this continually go on? Right now they're set for auto, so when it detects rain, it will automatically come on and it will adjust the speed accordingly. So you press that wiper button one time and your settings and controls pop up right here. Now, if you don't want to touch the screen, you can use this nice little switch right here, left and right. Go ahead and turn left and right, and you can see it changes the settings. So this is the speed. You've got 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you can just toggle the left and right connection there on the left side of your steering wheel, and it will switch the wiper speed just like that. So So this was one of the first questions that I had when I got in the car. I actually, was really curious because it was raining, and I was like, how do we turn on the wipers? And in any other car, you just, use the stick on the side. But for here, you have additional touchscreen controls. So that's highly important to know about. We can see our turning signal going on there. If we just push this down to the left, it turns the signal on. If we push it to the right, it turns the right signal on, just like that. So let's demo that one more time so you get a clear picture. If we move it over to the left, we just push it down, and you can see the camera comes on top. Let's leave it down longer so they can see the camera. You can see the camera, and then you can move it over to the right side just by pushing it up. So that's how you do your blinkers. We've covered our wipers. So very important things when you get inside of a Tesla Model 3 2020 that you should know about. Let's go ahead and demo the trunk and the front. I'm just going to go ahead and press the open button here, and you can hear it opens it up. And watch what happens when we open the door. The left door right here opens too, so you can see that. And I'll go ahead and open my right door, and you'll see the right door on the car opens up too. So we'll step out of the car here and walk all the way over to the front and lift it up just like this. So we'll lift it up, and you've got some room here in the very beginning here. Got a nice little tag that we can pull out. So you've got an ample amount of space right here for you to store things in the very front. It's very important though when you use the front to realize that you don't want to slam it really hard. You just want to push down to lock it. But if you slam it, it can damage the car. So you want to be very careful. It's not like a normal front engine where you slam it really hard. So that is the front. Now we'll go ahead and demo the trunk. We can just press the trunk open button, and just like that, you see the animation happen on the screen. And we will head over to the trunk, and you can see that you can store things in the very back, just like that. So very easy for us to open up. It also has a little component underneath where if you want to, and your keys nearby, you can stick your hand underneath and just lift it open, and it will open the trunk just like this if your key is nearby. So you don't always have to press that button inside of the car. So that's the trunk in the front. And then if you remember, our charging port is right here. When your key's nearby, you can press it to open it, and it will unlock. If not, you can use your mobile phone. You can just go ahead and open up the Tesla app on your mobile phone, and then go to charging, and it will unlock the port just like that. So you can unlock the charging port, you can charge up, and you can close it at any time. So really cool options that we have right here in our Tesla that we can move around and play with. Right here on the touchscreen inside of your Tesla, you have a lot of different commands and buttons that you can press. One of the cool features is that you can swipe across the music section right here and get more information about your current drive, sense charge, and your odometer. So you can see here how many miles are on the car, and then how many miles you put on since you last charged it, and then the current drive. So lots of information right here. And of course, you can tap on it and get more information about the current trips. So in this perspective, we'll go in more detail in the settings and the driver settings right here, but you can see the current drive at now 9 miles over 20 minutes and how much energy was used. So really cool settings that we have right here inside the Tesla. And if you want to get back to your music, you just swipe right back over and you've got access to it. You can also continue to swipe over and get access to your tire pressure, which is also in your settings. You can see all 4 tires, what their current pressure is and how long ago it was. So I measured this an hour ago for each of these, and we can tap on this to get more information under the service section inside the driver menu. Anytime it pulls up the driver menu, you can always access that by pressing the car right here in the lower left, and it brings up this. So we'll go into all of these settings and you'll get to see exactly what you can do inside of them in just a minute. But I'm going to go ahead and tap on this, and you can see the tire pressure. The recommended pressure is about 45, and we've got 49 and 45 across these 4 tires. And then one cool feature here, they've got the tire service mileage. You can see that we were serviced less than 500 miles ago, so we're good to go because we want to get checked around every 6,500 mile. So we can see all the details there right here on our Tesla touchscreen, and this thing is extremely powerful, and it's a computer on wheels. It makes it really easy to come in here and modify any of your car's settings, see what it looks like. We're gonna go ahead and start up the car by pressing the brake pedal, and you'll see that it will boot up the car. All of the different actions will pop up right here, all your different controls, and it starts to make that lovely noise there that we have. You can see that our seat belts are not on because this sign is right here, so it'll ask us to put on our seat belt. And then you'll also notice the shift gears pop up in the top left now. Now you may be wondering, how do we shift gears in this Model 3 2020? Right here is your shift gear, your options to shift gears. So you'll need to press the brake down and shift. We can shift it into reverse, for example, by pushing it up, and it goes into the reverse. And this is what it looks like in the reverse panel. You can see where we're parked, you can see the back camera, you can see your left of you, right of you. You can see that it wants us to fasten our seatbelt before we start driving. So really important information here. You can see here that our lights are on. If we want to go into drive, then we push this down. So we'll go ahead and press the brake and push it down, and that puts us in neutral. We'll push it down one more time and we'll go into drive mode. So you can see the Tesla sees the car in front of us, it sees the car next to us. Check out today's sponsor, Rakuten, where you can get a $30 bonus today when you sign up using the link in the description, appfind.org/Rakuten. You can shop at your favorite stores with over 3,500 stores to check out, and you install the plugin, create an account on Rakuten, and earn cash back today. It's really cool that you can come here and get paid to shop, and of course you can earn your $30 bonus today using the link in the description. This helps out the AppFind channel a lot, so check out today's sponsor, Rakuten, using the link appfind.org/Rakuten. It wants us to fasten our seatbelt before we ever make any moves, so highly important stuff, and that we're good to go. So all we have to do is just take our seatbelt here, and you'll notice when I click in the seatbelt, it just goes away just like that, and then we are good to start driving. So I'm going to just show you some of the interface here as we pull out, and you'll get to see what it looks like in real time as we drive on the street, and you'll see the interface. So it's really interesting to see all the other cars on the Tesla screen as it pops up. So let's go ahead and get on the road. We'll go ahead and shift this into a driving mode, and we'll pull out of the parking lot, and you'll get to see what it looks like as it detects cars all around us. So it can even detect the person in front of us as we're walking. So yeah, the person is popped up on the screen right there, and we are good to go. So we'll pull out of this parking spot. We'll put on our blinker, let everyone know that we are currently moving, and of course the camera pops open right here. As you can see, it lets us know if we are going to turn left or right, if it's clear to turn left or right. It lets us know how far away from cars we are, 30 inches away from cars, and it uses audio, it uses the audio sounds to let you know if you're gonna hit something or if you're getting close to something. So it's really cool as all the different cars here pop up right on the screen as we begin to drive into the parking lot. So you can see your speed is right here. We're going 6 miles an hour. Our headlights are on. And you may be wondering, how do you turn on the headlights in a Tesla? Well, the Tesla is a computer. It's smart. It just turns them on for you. It knows what time of day it is. It knows how dark it is. It knows when there are no cars on the road for you can turning on your bright lights. So it's very smart, and it's not something that you typically have to think about in a Tesla, but it does alert you when they are on, and they turn blue when the headlights are bright. So they're automatic. You just hop in the car and you're good to go. So we've got our left turn signal on right here, and we're pulling out, and we can see the camera popping up to let us know if there's anyone to the left of us. One cool thing about the Tesla is the speed limit pops up in the top right, so you always know how fast you can go when you're driving on a certain road. On this road we can go 25 miles an hour, as we can see there in the top right, and we're going 14 right now as we approach a stoplight. So you can see we have a ton of cars in front of us, and the cameras on the Tesla have noticed them all. So it puts every car on the map on the road, and if we were to turn left and put our signal on, it would let us know, like, hey, you probably shouldn't do that right now because there's a car next to you. It pops up with that red line letting you know that there's a car in your blind spot. So if you're to switch lanes from that perspective, you probably don't want to do that. So the car is extremely extremely smart and extremely clever. It even shows stoplights, so you can see we're at a stoplight. It's red, and it even pops up on the computer screen itself and lets us know that we're at a red stoplight, and we are good to go. So the Tesla is pretty powerful and pretty incredible. You can see what it looks like as we drive on the road here. It is raining. It is it's not as sunny, but they do have in these Model 3s this lovely glass here, and this looks stunning when it's a beautiful sunny day and the sun's shining through, and you can look up and see the rest of the sky and what that looks like. I think photos from this perspective too, if you're on a FaceTime call or if you take a selfie and you can see the glass in the Tesla, it looks really good. So from an interior point of view, it's really nice and really cool. I'm really excited to be able to have such cool engineering inside this car. So we saw red lights, now the lights green, and we can even see that they're green right here on the screen. So really cool that we can see the green lights there as we start to navigate here, and we are good to go. So a couple things that you probably may be wondering, like how do you do inside of a Tesla? So first off is maybe like something like music. Well, your music controls are right here, and we can tap on them, and we've logged in with our Spotify, and we can select our streaming. Now, for streaming to work, you do need a $10 a month subscription. So streaming requires a $10 a month premium connectivity subscription from Tesla. We'll demo what that looks like to subscribe later in this video, but that gets you access to things like streaming your music, watching Netflix, watching things in the theater at the supercharger, accessing the internet browser. All of that's $10 a month. It even gets you access to like premium features within the data mode for maps. So maps navigation works without the $10 subscription, but it doesn't give you things like traffic data and additional features inside the maps and streaming connectivity. So we can come over here, we can go over and we can select a different station here, but what I want to highlight is the sources component here. This lets us connect anything: Spotify, karaoke, Tidal, radio, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, and more. So if I want to do the radio, I can just tap on the radio right here, and we can turn on the game station. There's a Warriors game going on right now as we speak, and if we can turn up the volume to it, we can probably hear a little bit.
Guarded by Quinones, gets a nice screen from Xavier Tillman. And they move it around the right side to Brissett. Get a post up Tillman. Back to the basket on the right block, out for Pritchard. Guarded by Robinson, gets a screen, scooting to the...
So we've got the streaming component. I can't unfortunately play any copyrighted music for you, but that is a demo there of playing music inside, or playing audio or streaming inside of your Tesla. All you have to do is just swipe up, go to sources, and connect whichever app you want, whether you want it Spotify, karaoke, Tidal, the radio, Apple Podcasts, Apple Music, Bluetooth, TuneIn, or streaming. So really cool that we have access to all of this technology. You can see the blind spot detector again. If we're trying to turn left and there's a car in the way, it will let you know, it will show red, and it will warn you that you cannot turn until it's safe. So really cool features as we're driving here. So we can continue checking out all the different software. We can see our speed limit now is 55 and our max. So we've checked out streaming. You may be wondering, how do you work the air conditioner and the AC and the heating? So this is one of the most advanced components of the Tesla, and it happens right here at the very bottom, where right now we can see that the cooling is around 68 degrees and it's on manual mode. You can just tap this once and all of your controls pop open for the Tesla. So here you can turn on, if you want to turn off the AC, you just press this power button and it turns it off and it grays it out. If you want to turn it back on, you just tap it and it's at 68 degrees. So you've got all of these various different controls. This AC button right here, you just press it and it turns it on. One of my favorite features of this is you can change the direction of the air blowing just by touching and using the screen right here. The vents, they are right here, this little thin line right here and right over there. So when you are hot on a hot day and you want to cool down, the vents, it blows air right outside right here, and you can control the direction of that just by playing around with this lovely graphic right here on screen, and you can say where you want the cool air to come from, or the hot air. So really cool features that they built right into the Tesla touchscreen. This entire panel allows you to control your air conditioning unit and all of the heat. So by default, I typically have this on auto, and it sets the degrees. It knows how hot it is in the car, it knows how hot it is outside, or how cool it is, and it will adjust the temperature accordingly. But if you don't want it on auto, if you want to manually do it, you can come on here, you can turn on the manual control. You can speed it up if you want. You can turn it all the way up to 10, and you can start to hear it boot up there. Now we're getting a full blast for our AC. You can turn it down as you want to. You can recycle the air right here just by pressing on the recycling button. You can turn on your rear defrost just by pressing this button right here, or your front defrost just by pressing that button right there. So you've got various different options right here. And another cool feature about the Model 3 is it comes with these lovely seat heaters. So you can see, you can turn the seat heater on auto, and it will detect and turn on when it thinks it's appropriate, or you can manually control it right here. And they've got 3 levels. Right now, 3 red lines are across, so that means that they are on max capacity. It's heating up to its highest capacity. I can tap it once and then be on 2. Instead of 3, now it's at its second capacity. And then I can put it on number 1 with 1 red line, and it's on its weakest capacity there. So you've got 3 levels of the heat warmers, and depending on how hot you want your seat to be, you can turn them on. And of course, you've got various different controls. Just because in the passenger mode I turn mine on doesn't mean that the driver mode turns them on either. So the driver has their complete controls of the heat, and they also have their complete controls of the AC. So if you want to be really cold and the driver wants to be really hot, you can both manage your own just by pressing the split button. And then now I can turn up mine all the way to make it really hot, and they can turn up theirs to make it really, really cold. And now we have 2 different temperatures coming from the left side on the driver mode and on the right side on the passenger mode. So that's really cool that you can split the AC just like that. And then to undo that, you just press the split button one more time. And when it's not blue, you can now adjust it for both controls. So we'll go ahead and we'll turn down this control. I'll actually just leave it on auto really quick. So it's heating up, and you can come in here, you can set the temperature for that. So really cool devices and controls right here. You've got the front, and then another component right here is the rear. You can go to the rear component of the screen or of the car and control things like the seats, the seat heaters in the back. So we can turn them on. Right now they're all off. You can just tap them to turn the seat heaters on in the back. If you have passengers in the back, just like this, you can set the different levels, the 1, 2, 3 levels. So you can turn them off. So just like this, we can control the seat heaters in the very back of the car. And it makes it really easy for us to come in here and change the AC and the controls inside the car. So we've got the front controls on the left side at the very top, and the back controls on the rear side at the very bottom right here. So really cool that we can come in here and make all of those adjustments really quickly as we need to. So really awesome stuff. Next up, let's take a look at some of the navigation features that we have. When you're driving in a Tesla, it lets us know if it thinks we're going to hit a car, it turns it's red. And that's, we didn't know that was going to happen, but it does let you know if you get too close to something. And it does have automatic braking. So if you ever do forget to brake, it can help you in the end. Not guarantee that you won't hit something, but it does use the system right here to let you know while you're driving if it thinks you're going to hit something, or if you shouldn't turn in case of someone being nearby. But I want to check out the navigation stuff right here in the Tesla. This screen right here, you can see you've got full navigation. It tells you where you are and where to drive. So a cool feature that they have is you can press this button right up here, and you can be centered in the navigation. It tells you the direction that you're going, and we can tap the map and get additional features. So if we want to see additional cars, or not additional cars, but like what the world looks like, a world map view, we can tap on this top icon right here, and it shows us all the satellite footage of what it looks like when you're driving in this area. So in addition to the street names, you got a full satellite view right here. So that's one cool feature that you can add on top of your Tesla. You can just tap the screen to make the controls go away. You can tap them to bring them back. And this is kind of like the satellite view. You can tap it to make that go away and go back to the normal view. So really cool options that we have right here inside of our Tesla. We can go ahead and press that traffic control button right here, which looks like a stoplight, and it shows us what the traffic looks like in certain areas of our driving. So it lets us know red is kind of like heavy traffic, orange is medium traffic. So it just lets us know overall what the traffic conditions look like when we press the traffic control button right there. And we can turn this off by pressing it one more time. Next up, it lets us know what's nearby in terms of food options and shopping areas. We can see if we want to tap to navigate to something, we can tap on it and it opens it up and we can start navigating to it right away. So it calculates the route right for us, and then it uses this really clever technology to let us know how our battery will go. Now right here will always show you what your battery percentage will be when you get to your destination. So at 63% in 0 minutes at 3 p.m. it's 300 feet away. And then you can always map in superchargers if you want to. You heard that noise in the background. It let us know that the light was changing to green, which was really cool. If you're ever setting on a light, it lets you know that it's turned to green.
Now your destination is on the left.
And you can see that the voice has, or the navigation has voice and step-by-step directions, turn-by-turn navigation. So that's really helpful to come in here and play with when we're inside of our Tesla. If we're ever going anywhere, you just use the navigation buttons to get to where you need to go. So the last cool feature right here on our handy little toolbar on the side is the superchargers. You press this, you press the charging button, and it lets you know all the charging stations nearby, and you can scroll across and find whichever charging stations you need in order to get to charge up your car. So really handy that you can come in here and see that and find them and navigate to any charging station that you need to inside of your car. Now, you may be wondering, how do you adjust the volume? Because there are no knobs and controls inside the Tesla. Everything is on the touchscreen. Now, you do have a knob right here on the left of your steering wheel. Now, before we go over all the different details in the steering wheel, let's take a look at the overall structure. So you've got your airbag, you've got your horn, and then you've got these two dial pads, and then of course you can turn the steering wheel left and right. So on the left dial pad is where you can adjust the volume. So you can see as you move up and down on that little dial pad, the volume gets louder, and you've got the little different controls that pop open right here. So that's very helpful to know. You also have touchscreen controls for the volume right here. You can just tap this once and adjust. You can turn it all the way up. You can turn it all the way down, just like that, right here on the touchscreen. You can also use the little arrows right here. So they've got two arrows, one left and to the right. If you tap it to the right, it just turns it up. If you tap it to the left, it turns it all the way down. So you can tap it in the center to get the touchscreen controls and manually do it from there. So that's how you adjust the volume inside of your Tesla. You've got the options right here on the wheel. You just use the little trackpad there to turn it up and down, and it pops up right here on the screen, and it lets us know how loud the volume is and how low it is. So really helpful that you can adjust it while driving just by using the knob on the screen, and you can adjust it right here on the touchscreen itself. So we can tap it and we can use the touchscreen itself to lower it down all the way, just like that. So you may be wondering, how do you add a music source? So there are multiple sources right here. Right now we're listening to the radio, but you can swipe up and tap on the sources component to add and play around with all your different sources. So in my case, let's see what it would look like to add an Apple Music source. All you do is just tap on Apple Music and it'll load up here. It has the loading screen. So when you first get your Tesla, you may want to log into your Spotify, your Apple Music, or podcast, or Tidal, and that will be available to do right here under the section right here. We're presented with the QR code. All we have to do is just scan this QR code with our phone, and we can open it up and log in to Apple Music from our phone just like this. So we go ahead and hit connect. We authorize with Face ID, and it allows us to log in to our Apple ID, and it wants Tesla to get approved. So Tesla would like to access your Apple Music media library and listening activity. You just hit also allow Tesla to access your Apple Music profile name and image, and then hit allow, and this will automatically allow it to sign in using your Apple Music account. So your car will refresh to continue. You have successfully signed in using your Apple ID, and we are good to go. So we can go ahead and put our phone away, and our Tesla will refresh and allow it to start playing some Apple Music. And here we have it, Apple Music for the first time on our Tesla. It reloads and refreshes just like that. And we can come in here and play with it. Now, unfortunately, I can't play any music with you specifically due to YouTube copyright issues, but you can visit all the top picks. You can see the recently played. You can see the hip hop and R&B hits by year. The pop made for you stations. You see your little profile image at the top. So you've got full-fledged Apple Music on your Tesla just like this. It automatically refreshes, and when you get in the car, you can go ahead and play some music. So it makes it really easy to come in here and use Apple Music. So this is under the Listen Now tab. We can scroll over. We can take a look at the Browse tab and check out some brand new music and what that looks like. You've got the Apple Music radio stations, the library, and more. So one thing to keep in mind though is when you're streaming, it uses Tesla's connectivity package and the internet reception powered by AT&T. And sometimes you're in bad cell connection areas like where we are now. There's not a good cell connection, and it does take a while for this stuff to load if you are not in a good loading area where you have full cell coverage. Now you can check that out by tapping, you can possibly join Wi-Fi or see what your overall cell connection looks like when you tap it at the very top. So you can see right here that we are currently on Tesla Wi-Fi Mercury, and you can come up here, see your Bluetooth connections and all your details. So depending on your cellular connection, things may be great, things may not be, but you can connect to Wi-Fi if you're at home or at work. But when you're on the go, and like we saw this load up the second time here, so we're good to go. We can browse. We've got our favorite playlists. We've got new albums. We've got pop. We've got hip hop, country, today's country, and more. So really cool options for Apple Music for us to browse and check out all the different content here. We can head over to the radio station for Apple Music that loads. And we've got Apple Music One, Apple Music Hits, Apple Music Country. We've got top stations, station by genre, catalog stations, and worldwide stations right here on our Tesla. And I do wish I could hit one of these buttons and play some of this music with you, but unfortunately I cannot. The last station or last tab that we have open right here is the library, and we can come here, see what songs we recently added, see all of the music that we have in our library, and play it anytime that we want to. It's broken down into playlists, artists, albums, songs, and it's really beautiful, and I absolutely love how this Apple Music app is laid out. You can check out all your various different music playlists, artists, albums, songs, and more. And of course, you've got the radio, the browse, the listen now. So you can see some of this album artwork loading in. It does take a minute, but again, depending on where you are, the more cellular connection you have, the better, and the more service you have, the better. It loads up instantly when you have 4 or 5 bars of service and you're good to go. But if you're in a weak or spotty reception area, it does make it hard to use the Tesla streaming or any of the features that require the internet because you don't have full bars. So cool options right here. That's how we add Apple Music to our device. And you can come over here, and we can swipe up from the music controls, go to sources, and you can add multiple things. Like we already have Spotify connected. I can tap on Spotify and it instantly opens up my Spotify connections here. I can see the liked songs, my top songs from 2023, hot hits in the US, pop, today's biggest hits, recently played, your shows, uniquely yours, audiobooks, state of music today, viral pop, fresh new music. You can go to browse. You can browse all the songs in different categories on Apple Music. Or no, this is not Apple Music. This is Spotify. Very similar streaming services, but they do have their differences. You can see that there are less tabs right here in Spotify, and you've got the Spotify button right here on our options right here. So you can see when you're in Spotify, it shows the Spotify logo right there at the top, and then if we're to tap over to Apple Music, it shows the Apple Music logo. So you can quickly notice the difference between there. So let's go back to Spotify and see some of these little interesting options. We got the browse component right here, and then your library right here. So you can go over here, you can check out playlists, podcasts, audiobooks, artists, albums, and more. And you can see it taking a little bit to load some of these playlists. So it's very interesting, and depending on your internet connection, this can be a very poor experience or a great experience. Sometimes it may be easier just to use Bluetooth to stream directly to your car if you don't want to rely on the slow internet. So you can do that, and you may be wondering, like you can see request timed out right here because we're not in a really good cellular great spot right now. So if you want to play music on your Bluetooth connection, you can do that. I'm going to switch over to my profile and open up our Bluetooth settings. So by default, when I head over to Bluetooth, you can see that my Model 3 is connected. And if I want to play something in Spotify, I can just go to the Bluetooth settings, AirPlay and Bluetooth, and select Model 3. So Tesla Model 3, just like that. And it will start streaming directly from the phone itself to this car. So that may be easier, and you can do this completely for free. You don't need the Tesla connectivity package to use something like Bluetooth. So if you wirelessly transmit your Bluetooth signals, you won't be able to use the apps under sources here if you're using Bluetooth. It won't show up on Spotify, it won't show up on Apple Music. It'll only show up on your phone, but you can still submit data to the Bluetooth car and it will play the music from your phone. So that's another way you can do it if the internet is very spotty. You can always download your music offline on the onto your mobile phone and then share that over here manually through Bluetooth, and then selecting the speakers and TVs under your car. So Tesla Model 3, just like that. And again, I can't play any of this for you because it's copyrighted, but I would love to. I wish I could. And you will get to see that demo of what it looks like to send music from your phone and play it through Bluetooth. You can manage Bluetooth connections if you tap the driver mode and then hit Bluetooth right here at the top, the little Bluetooth logo right there. You can see which cars are connected. You can see Dynamic Island, the name of my phone is connected, and we are good to go. It's the priority device. The car will attempt to connect a priority device before others when using the following profiles, and then it syncs contacts and calls. If you have an Android phone, you can sync messages, and then you can get a chime on new messages. So really cool options for us to manage Bluetooth settings. That's what allows us to connect our phone and play our music. So whether we're using the Apple Music app, the Spotify app, or manually or sending music over through Bluetooth, you can do either of those options that you want, and it makes it really cool to come in here and access all of your music. So you've got Bluetooth options right here underneath. I'm going to switch back to the other profile. So you can tap Bluetooth right here if you want to, and it brings up Bluetooth settings. You can connect another phone. You can use a phone that's previously connected. You can see the playlist for what that looks like and more. So you've got multiple options to connect your Bluetooth, no matter whether you do it from the driver settings or whether you do it under sources. You can see what it looks like to connect Apple Podcasts. And since we connected our Apple Music account before, it's a very similar process. We just scan this QR code, log into our Apple account, and then our podcasts will show up. We can do TuneIn Radio, learn more about that. We've got streaming options right here with our Tesla account. So if you don't have Spotify, Apple Music, Bluetooth, or any of that, and you pay for the Tesla connectivity package, the $10 a month, then you can do streaming, and you can use Tesla's built-in streaming. They've got Tesla favorites, today's hits, AP News, 80s, 90s, and today, classic rock, Tesla Top 20, and more. They've got plenty of different, streaming services with top stations that you can check out on your Tesla, and it makes it very fun to come in here and listen to any kind of music that you want. They've got a DJ series, so you can see that, weekly pop 20, weekly hip hop. They've got genres, and then you can see what Tesla account that you're logged in with your streaming account. And I'm just set up through my main Tesla account that I've logged in. So really cool options that we have right here for music streaming. You saw today how we logged into our Apple Music. We're previously logged into our Spotify. You can use Bluetooth to connect. You can connect streaming, TuneIn, Apple Music, radio, karaoke, and title. Title's very similar. You just tap, you scan the QR code, and you're good to go. Another cool feature I want to check out is karaoke, but I'm going to make sure that my volume is muted down here because, again, we can't play any of this on YouTube. Otherwise, we'll get a copyright strike. But if we select a song and we start playing it, karaoke allows you to sing in the car. So this is great for kids. This is great for, fun date nights. If you want to do karaoke together, you can load up a karaoke song and then start singing. Now, traditionally you would turn up the volume and you would hear this song. We've got Umbrella by Rihanna, and you would sing along with the lyrics. So karaoke is by far one of the coolest features to use, to have at parties or to have with your family or to have with a significant other. You can turn on karaoke and start singing together inside of the car and make it really fun to come in here. It's kind of like Apple Music Sing, if you ever use that on your iPhone or Apple TV or iPad, or you can just see the lyrics and you can sing along, and it allows you to sing as if you're at a karaoke bar or karaoke venue, or had a karaoke machine fully fledged right here in your car. So it's really powerful, really cool. You can come over here to the karaoke machine and just tap on karaoke, or you can go back to your sources here. You can see karaoke, and I'm saying karaoke, but it's actually named car. And it's kind of like a fun play on words, karaoke, because you're in a car versus a karaoke mode. So yeah, you can play with the karaoke instead of the karaoke, but same thing. They just spelled it C-A-R instead of K. So really cool options that we got right here. Then at the end, we've got radio. You can see our favorite radio stations added to the top. You can add additional radio stations. I love playing the sports games on the radio and listening to top hits and stuff. So sometimes if I don't want to hear my shuffle algorithm on Spotify, I'll turn on the radio and just listen to some top hits that are going on. You also have the direct tune option. You can type in a radio station itself. So if we were to think this one's 96.5, we can type in 96.5, and all of our stations will start popping up for 96. So really cool options that we have right here inside of our Tesla, and we are really amazed at a lot of this technology that we're at. We've got a car, but it's more powerful than your traditional car because a whole computer is right here on it. We can go to R&B hip hop. We can do Sunflower by Post Malone, and we can tap on that and access the different controls here. To see the best AI tools and apps, go to appfind.ai for a full list of hundreds of tools. Also, subscribe to our weekly newsletter using the link in the description at appfind.ai/newsletter to get a weekly email update of the best AI tools in your inbox. And make sure to sign up for other recommended newsletters as well. That way, you can always stay up to date with the latest AI tools in tech. Let's take a look at our recently used apps and our apps that we have saved at the very bottom. So in the middle here is the three dots. This is kind of like your drawer to access all of your apps. And you can customize this just by pressing this button and drag icons to My Apps to customize. So at the very bottom here, we've got the phone under My Apps. We've got the streaming service under My Apps, and we've got the camera under My Apps. If you want to remove one of those, all you have to do is just press the X. If we don't want it streaming, we can try that one more time. We can load up the app drawer, we can hit customize and then press the X, and then it just disappears like that. So you can have various different apps right here on the left. So one that I probably use often, we've got Spotify. I can just drag over Spotify to the very bottom just like that, and I've customized my apps that are right here in the Tesla. Over to the right here, we've got recently used apps. So if you maybe open them up for the first time, they pop open right here, and you can see which ones that you've recently used. So you've got various different apps here. If I want to remove the camera, I just press the X and the camera is removed. And then I can add an additional app. We can see what other apps I want to add. Maybe I want to have quick access to the manual that I want to instantly read and learn more about the car. I can just press the manual button. And that allows you to reconfigure all your various different apps here. If I want to remove the phone, I can do that. I can add in the web browser and add that to the very bottom here. So you can add all these various different apps right here to the bottom of the screen and configure them however you want. We can add the karaoke with the karaoke. So we can have various different apps and recently opened apps at the very bottom of our screen, just like this. Another cool thing that you can do is if you just hold down on these apps, you can customize them. So you don't have to press the 3 dots to access any of this customizing button. You can just hold down and then it instantly goes into the customized features. So you don't have to press the 3 dots and then hit customize. You can just hold down on any app and we can make any modifications. We can remove the car manual and we can add the toy box to it just like that. We'll play around with that. So you can make this however you want. If you don't want any apps there, you can just hit the X button and then you don't have any apps. And then all your apps, press the done button and all your apps are just whichever ones you've recently used that have previously opened up. So we can use the customizable bar at the very bottom, kind of like our dock, to have our recent apps and our actual applications that we want to save. You just hold down onto any app and it allows you to go into the customized mode and drag any app that you want to. So we can drag the Spotify back under my apps and we are good to go. So really cool options that we've got baked in. We're going to play around with some of these apps, such as the manual. If you want to, we'll enter the done mode and then we'll press the 3 dots and open up the manual. They made it really easy to come in here and they've got various different cool options to learn more about the car. So it loads up. You can see the owner's manual. You don't have a 50,000 page thing in the glove department anymore. You just instantly open it up right here on the car and it's very detailed and it allows you to come over here to the overview and you can get the exterior, the interior overview, the touchscreen, the interior electronics, the car status, voice commands, cameras. We haven't even touched voice commands. How about we take a look at that? Voice commands are interesting. All you have to do is just hold this button down and the voice command button pops up and you can start talking and it's listening to what you're saying and then it will take any action. So you can adjust climate preferences, tweak the windshield wiper speed and frequency, and it looks like our it started Googling things for us, voice commands. So we're going to go ahead and hit the manual button one more time and have that open up. So the manual is super detailed and super advanced and it allows us to come in here and learn about anything in the car and it's very helpful. So I highly recommend checking out the manual. So you can call a contact with voice commands, navigate to a location, interact with apps and settings. Some examples of voice commands: make it cooler, make it warmer, turn on and off the driver's seat heater. That is so cool. Cool down the passenger, direct airflow to my face, sync climate, increase, decrease the speed fan, turn on or off the defroster, set the temperature fan, turn on recirculate, windshield wipers, speed up the windshield wipers, increase, decrease windshield wiper speed by turn on and off the wipers. So we can try a voice command, very simple, such as turning on the wipers. So we can just hold down the voice command button, turn on the wipers, and the wipers start turning on just like that. So really cool options that we've got right here. They've got more voice controls. Let's go ahead and turn off the wipers. I'll hold down this, I'll just press this forward, turn off the wipers. Oh, it says command not available yet. So we'll go ahead and manually press the wipers and we'll go ahead and turn off the wipers just like that. Actually, I'll keep them on auto just in case something happens. So you can see here, we've got dozens of different options right here for navigation, contacts, media, apps, and settings. So many cool detailed options right here in the manual for voice controls and things for us to explore. So I highly recommend checking out the Tesla manual on your different Tesla because it has everything to go through and it's highly detailed and really cool. So in order to get back to the home screen, or more like the navigation, which is like the default stage, you may be wondering, how do we exit this app, or how do we exit any app? Well, the simple thing to do is to just drag it down from the top, and that takes you back down to navigation. So anytime you open any application, it covers the navigation. So if we go ahead and open the car, the karaoke, it covers the navigation. In order to exit this, we just drag it down. If we tap the 3 dots and open up another application, such as the theater. If we open the theater and we want to exit the theater, we just drag it down, and it always brings us back home to the navigation, showing us where our car is and where we can navigate to. And of course, if we tap, you remember we went over these 4 features before: the map, the traffic controls, on being able to see how heavy traffic is, and then of course some things that are nearby for us to shop around or go visit, and then of course the superchargers that are nearby. So really cool options that we've got. The navigation is kind of like our home screen. We can drag this down and we've got our music. We can tap to bring it back, and we've got our music controls, the car controls. We can play around with this 3D model of the car just like that, and it makes it really fun for us to come in here and use any of this technology. And of course, if we want to lock the car, we can, or if we want to open the trunk or the front, or right now the charging port is open, so you can see that the charging port is open on the 3D model because we're currently charging and we're good to go. So really cool features that we've got baked right into the car right here. And next up, I want to review some of the settings in the app. So all of your settings are located underneath the driver connection port right here. So you just press this drive button right here, and you've got all of your different settings for the Tesla. So right at the top is a search bar. If there's something that you cannot find but you know is in here, all you have to do is just search for it. Such as, like, if I want to turn off the screen, I know I can do that. You just search for power, and it just automatically finds power for us, and then we can press turn off, and it says, are you sure you want to turn off? Place the foot on the brake to power it back on. So I just searched for an option, and it turned off the power, and we were good to go. And all you have to do is just press the foot on the brake to bring the power back. So that's one cool feature that you can do inside of your Tesla. You can just search for a control if you don't want to dive through all of the different settings. But what we're going to do is we're going to go through all of these different settings with you right now, so you know exactly all of the good tips, all the different controls, and everything that you need to know inside of your Tesla. So let's start with the controls. So at the top here, you can see that we have our lights. Our lights are set to auto. So if they're not set to auto, you can just turn them on and your lights will be on, but then you'll need to remember to come in here and turn them off. So auto, by default, lights are set for auto. You can have your various different options right here for the light settings. You just press them so they're on, parking lights, or off, and it allows them to come up right here. So right now they're on auto. You never have to worry about them when they're on auto. They will automatically turn on, they'll automatically turn off. But if you do switch this away from auto and you leave them on, they will stay on and you'll need to turn them off. And if you have your parking lights on, then you'll select parking lights just like that. So really cool options that we have here for our lights. Next up, fold mirrors. So you can go ahead and tap that and the mirrors will fold in just like that. When you walk away, your mirrors will fold in and it'll let you know that your car is locked and you're good to go. So you can unfold them just by tapping, and you can see that. I'm gonna give you a better shot of that. You tap once to unfold, or you tap once to fold in, and then you tap them to fold them out. So when you're in the car, they typically will be unfolded. If you want to fold them, you just press that button right there. Next up is the child lock button. You can press this and you can child lock the left door, the right door, or both doors. Let me zoom in so you get a better view of this. You just press the child lock button and you can say both doors are child locked, and that way no child will be able to press the button to exit the door on both doors. Oops, I pressed the wipers there, but both doors, left door, right door. So I'll go ahead and turn the wipers off. We'll get to that in a second. Next up is the window lock. So the window lock only applies to the back windows, and the front windows will still be able to be rolled down. So you can turn that off and on. If you turn the window lock on, the back windows will not be able to be rolled down if you just disable it. Take a look at the glove box on the Tesla. It's unlike any other car. There's no handle, there's no key, there's nothing. By default, the glove box is always locked. You cannot open it unless you access the driver section right here. You press this driver button, and under controls, there is a glove box button, and that's what opens the glove box. You just tap it once, and the glove box opens up just like that. You can access your information and anything that you need to, you can store inside the glove box and then put it right back up. So that's how you access your glove box right here inside of the Tesla. Next up are the wipers. You can come, press the driver button, select controls, and then turn on your wipers off. 1, 2, 3, 4, and auto. So really cool options that we have right here. You saw them on earlier. As you tap, wipers on, that's 1 speed, that's 2 speed, that's 3 speed, and that's 4 speed. So it can get very fast just like this, and you can of course put them on auto. So very cool options that we have right here. Next up, we've got options right here for our mirrors. So our mirrors on the left and right, we can go ahead and tap the mirrors, and it will allow us to use the left scroll wheel to adjust the mirrors. So the left scroll wheel's right here, and you can just use that to move the mirrors to the top, to the bottom, to the side. All you have to do is just use that left scroll wheel, left, right, up, down. It's kind of like a little joystick in a way, and that allows you to move the mirrors to make it where it's perfect for you to be able to see at night. You can also see right here, you've got mirror auto tilt. So if you put it in reverse, it'll automatically auto tilt. It'll automatically fold itself and automatically dim. So you got various options right here. Right now we're modifying the left one. If we want to modify the right one, all we have to do is just tap the right on the screen, and then the right mirror will start to move. And then the beautiful thing about profiles right here in our Tesla is they will remember, the Tesla, the computer, the software, the screen will remember your mirror settings. So you can go ahead and hit save or restore previous settings, and then every time you get in the car, it will go ahead and it will set those settings that you previously saved. So it's really cool that it remembers what your mirror settings were, and you can come over here and set them up to be perfect, and then it will remember anytime you are in the car, and go ahead and restore those and save them. So if you have multiple drivers in the car, they can set their own settings, and then when they get in the car, we'll go ahead and hit that save button, and they will be locked to their profile. So that's how you adjust the mirrors in the Tesla. Let's go ahead and see what else we have. Next up is recording. So it's always recording. We have a USB stick plugged into our Tesla, so it's always recording, and we can just go ahead and tap on recording for that. So that means that it's recording things for like sensory mode. It's using the cameras on the outside. We'll dive into sensory mode when we see it in our settings later, but right now it's letting us know that the cameras are being recorded, and anytime we want to open the camera button, we can open that up and you can see what that looks like. And if we were to tap the camera or the dash cam button, we can do that, and it will automatically save some footage to our USB drive, so we can see previous footage and what that looks like. Anytime anyone gets near to the car, or if they hit the car with something, you'll be able to see that. So that's what that feature allows us to do. You just press the car button, and right now it's paused. We'll go ahead and we'll resume by holding down there. So you can see when it's paused and when it's recording, just like that. So you just press it one more time, and it starts to restart, and it goes to start recording again. So now it's recording again because it's got the red light there instead of the pause logo, and then we can tap on the driver button again and see that it is recording. So cool options right here. Since it is a computer on wheels, you can always have footage around your car, whether sensory mode is turned on or whether you're using it to find out if you can turn left or right safely. Next up is steering. So when we press the steering button, you can use the left scroll wheel to adjust the steering. And you can see here, as you move it down, it goes down. And when you move it up, it goes up. So depending on your height preference, however you want your steering wheel to be, you can move it upwards, you can move it downwards, and you can move it in and out. So really cool options that you have right here on the Tesla that make it really cool. You just use the left scroll wheel to adjust your steering column up, down, out, and in, and you can go ahead and save that in. And anytime you get in the car with your profile, it will remember what you set it as, and you're good to go. So we can go ahead and save our new preference there, and it will automatically save to our profile. So next up, if I switch to my profile, you'll see it automatically moves over to my profile, and it saves and remembers what my previous wheel setting was. Just like the mirrors too, it all sets that, even your seat. So really cool options that we have right here built into the Tesla. You just switch the profile to whoever you want, and you're good to go. So next up is sensory mode. So sensory allows you to record any events when you're away from the car and you're not in the car, you can use the sensory mode cameras to, if anyone, say, hit your car with a door or shopping cart, or came up to your car and keyed it, if they did anything, it will always record that with sensory mode and you'll be good to go. So that's really cool options. Next up is the screen brightness. You can adjust the screen brightness right here. We have it set on auto, so we're good to go. We don't ever have to adjust it. It'll do it based off the ambient light settings that are in the car. So really cool options that we've got right here inside of our Tesla, and that is the control panel. Let's move down to pedals and steering. You can move things like acceleration. Right now it's set for standard. You can move it to chill. Steering mode can be set for comfort, standard, or sport. Stopping mode can be set for creep, roll, and hold. So one thing that's interesting is when you're driving a Tesla, for stopping modes, when you go ahead and you, in a normal, gas-powered car, you need to press the brake button to stop and prevent the car from accelerating forward. But in a Tesla, in an EV, when you don't put power on the gas pedal, it doesn't necessarily creep forward for you. It just stops when you don't press the gas pedal. The car's not moving at all, and that's very different from a traditional car. You can use these creep settings to change that, so you can have the car roll or you can have the car creep like a normal gas car would. If your foot is not on the brake pedal in a normal gas car, it will creep forward. It will continue moving forward slowly. But Teslas don't do that. If your foot is not on the gas pedal and you're at a complete stop, it will not move forward at all. You've got regenerative braking, which uses the power and the brakes to power back your battery and makes it really helpful to save energy and also help you stop. So you can apply brakes when regenerative braking is limited, and you can do a slip start used to help free vehicle stuck in snow, sand, or mud. So options there for our pedals and steering that we have. Let's move over to charging. You've seen charging a little bit. We can see that we're charging the car right now, and when we demoed this earlier in the video where you can plug it up to a supercharger, you can unlock the charge port, you can see how much it costs, the session energy, the price, and more. Next up is autopilot. So we don't actually have the full autopilot package, so I'm going to skip over this feature for now, but this allows you, when you purchase, it depends what car make and model you have, but when you purchase the several $1,000 autopilot package, you can come in here and modify what it does on autopilot. And of course, autopilot, the full self-driving autopilot, the FSD full self-driving is pretty advanced. Maybe that can be a video for one day, but we're not going to be covering that in today's video. So next up is locks. Locks is what allows you to have multiple users and multiple keys. So you can come in here, you can see that by default, your phone is the key in a Tesla. So when you pair your phone using the app, it will allow the Bluetooth connection to connect and unlock the car. So when it recognizes your phone over Bluetooth, the car unlocks. When you walk away from the phone, or when you walk away from the car with your phone and the Bluetooth connection drops, the car automatically locks. So you can see that our phones are currently tied in. You can see that we have key cards. You got to see what it looked like to add an additional key card, and you can come in here and scroll and view all your different key cards. And you can add a key as we saw earlier, and you can rename these as you please, and you can see all the different profiles. So right now we are in Marshall's profile, and it's tied to this phone, and you can see that because we pressed this button right here to tie it. If we press this one more time, it will untie Marshall's phone from this profile. So we have to be logged into that profile. We're logged into it, and we just tap the user profile, and then that name pops up, and anytime this phone unlocks the car, it'll be tied to this profile. Anytime the dynamic island unlocks the phone, it'll be tied to my profile because Justin's tapped to it right there. But you do have to quick switch the user in order to tap that profile. Right here, you can just tap to switch to different users. So really cool options that we have there. We've got a child lock. We can turn both doors on to child lock, left or right. We've got a window lock, so we'll go ahead and turn child lock off. You've got a window lock. The walk away door lock is probably the coolest feature right here. You can automatically lock doors and trunks when leaving with your phone or key fob. So this is what I was explaining earlier. When you walk away from the car, you just walk away and it locks the door automatically. So driver door unlock mode, we can press the information button. When enabled, the driver door and charge port will unlock when the key is detected near the driver's side of the vehicle. Holding down the interior driver door button will unlock the rest of the vehicle. So you can turn that on or off. You've got unlock on park. You've got car left open notifications. This is very helpful. If you walk inside the house, it'll let you know. You'll be notified if any trunk door or window is left open, if your vehicle is left unlocked unexpectedly. You get a confirmation for the lock sound. You've got closed windows on lock and more. So these are some cool features that we've got right here inside the locks component. We can see our setting options for the lights. You can turn the headlights. They're on auto. We saw this earlier. You can turn them off, parking, or on. You've got auto turn signals. You can say auto cancel or off. So you can just press the info button. Your turn signals will automatically turn off after a merge, fork, or lane change has been completed. If the vehicle detects an upcoming turn or another lane change in the same direction, the turn signal will not turn off until the maneuver is complete. So you can go ahead, right now auto turn signals are turned off. You can do auto cancel if you want. The really cool feature is auto high beam. If you're in an environment and you are not, not any near cars, it will detect that it's very dark and there are no cars nearby, and it will automatically turn on the high beams for you. And then you've got headlights after exit and dome lights set for auto. So you've got all your various different lighting controls right here. You can head over to the display. Right now it's set for auto in terms of appearance, but you can switch it to dark mode, which you can see what it looks like in dark mode. Or if you want it to always be on light mode, you can do that. Or you can keep it on auto and it saves it to your profile. You can reduce blue light, automatically adjust to warmer colors at night. You can see what the brightness of the display is set. Right now it's at auto, it'll automatically set the brightness. You can see automatic blind spot camera, show side repeater camera when turn signal is engaged. This is what when we turn left or right, it lets us know. The blind side it lets us know, it shows the blind side camera to see if we're gonna hit something. The screen clean mode. So you can turn this on and clean the screen. So I'm going to go ahead and hold to exit, and we can exit in 3, 2, 1, just like this. But a really cool feature for the display, if we go back to controls, if we open the glove box, we've got a nice Tesla screen cleaner microfiber cloth right here, as you can see. So this is perfect for screen cleaning. We'll go ahead and put that back in the box. So you can go ahead and under display, enter screen cleaning mode, and it will allow you to wipe the screen without changing any of the features and hitting the wrong button and turning things on. And then just clean the touchscreen with a soft cloth designed for monitors and displays. Do not use cleaners, wet wipes, or dry statically charged materials. You just hold to exit. So we'll exit in 2, 1, 0, and we're back. So really cool options that we have right here. So let's see, we're in display. We've got scroll wheel function. Right now it does nothing. You can go here, you can change it to do something for the scroll wheel function, or you can say ask for each time. You can do the touchscreen language, it's in English, voice recognition language in English, you can change it. Voice navigation language, the text size, the time, energy display, the distance, the temperature, the tire pressure. You can see trips. We saw this earlier when charging. You can see your current drive, since last charge, trip A, trip B, and more. Navigation. So here's where your navigation volume is for if you want to know how loud your the navigation voice is. You can come over here and turn it up some, just like this, and it lets you know. You can mute it if you want to, or you can tap and turn it up or down. You can use HOV lanes, automatic navigation, trip planner, online routing, and avoid tolls or ferries. So really cool options that we've got right here in navigation. Next up is safety. We've talked about sensory mode, but this is a feature that only happens when you leave the car. We'll take a look at what that looks like. But you just turn it on, and when you leave the car, it will record anything that happens around the car. So if someone comes and unlocks their car, or if someone comes and does any damage to your car, you'll be able to be alerted as soon as it happens, and it'll be recorded onto your USB drive. So really cool options that we've got right here for sensory mode. Camera-based detection, disable sensory sounds, view live camera via mobile app. We've got a dashboard cam, so this works on auto. You can have it set for on honk, manual or off. You can delete dash cam clips, or you can format the USB drive. You've got an automatic blind spot camera, blind spot collision warning chime, allow mobile access, pin to drive, glove box pin, speed limit mode, so you can limit the speed limit in the car. You've got cabin overheat protection, which is on, and then automatic 911 when airbags deploy if a Bluetooth phone is connected. You've got the security alarm, park assist chimes, gear chimes. Joe mode, we can press the info. Enabling Joe mode reduces the volume on your car's chime. The quieter chimes continue to alert the driver effectively and minimize disruption to passengers. So really cool options for that. And then if our foot's on the pedal, we can go ahead and enable the parking brake. You can also select the gear on the steering column. And then we can power off at the very bottom under safety. Next up is service. So you can see we took a look at this menu option earlier when we took a look at what it looked like for our tire pressure when we turn that on. We can come here, see the owner's manual, the adjust heights, the towing. We can reset sensors, wheel and tire, notifications, camera preview, camera calibration, driver seat, steering and mirrors calibration, clear browser data, factory reset, and wiper service mode. You can see under the upgrades component right here, you can do various different upgrades, the full self-driving capability, like navigate on autopilot, auto change, auto lane change, auto park, summon, traffic light and stop control, and more. So coming later this year, they've got all these various different cool features. You can swipe to subscribe and load them up on your car directly. They've got the premium connectivity subscription at $10 a month plus your tax, and you can sign that up and get access to like all the streaming, the maps, the browser, and more. One of the best features about Teslas is that they get better over time with software updates. What I'm going to show you how to do is how to connect your car to your Wi-Fi and update your software. You cannot do this over the Tesla connectivity through AT&T's LTE network. You have to be connected to a Wi-Fi router that's at work or at house. And if you don't have a Wi-Fi router, you can use your phone for a hotspot. So I'm going to demo that process to you right now. Whenever there is an update on the Tesla app, it will just pop up like right here, software update, connect vehicle to Wi-Fi to download. You can also access your software update settings by tapping the driver section right here and seeing all of your menu options and scrolling down and tapping the software. So you tap on the software update and you scroll down and it lets us know under the software category what version we're on. Right now we're on 11.1 and it shows that version number 2024.2.2.1 and other numbers there. And the next update available is 2024.2.7, and we have to connect to Wi-Fi in order to download the software update. And then you can select your software update preference. You can hit the little information button right now and it lets us know that the Model 3 will regularly receive over-the-air updates for software that adds new features and enhance existing functionality. Select Advanced if you'd like your Model 3 to receive new software updates as soon as they become available for its configuration. The latest software version will vary based off vehicle configurations, including hardware and geography. So if you have it on Advanced, you'll get the software update as soon as possible, as soon as it rolls out, compared to if you switch it over to Standard, it may not roll out as soon as possible, and you'll get it eventually when it rolls out to everyone. So we have it on Advanced. We want to get the latest software as soon as it comes out, and all you have to do is just connect to Wi-Fi to download the software update, as you can see there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you how to do a wireless network on your phone, a hotspot, if you're using an iPhone. I'm going to go ahead and swipe up and go over to our settings application. Once you open up your settings application, you'll be able to select the personal hotspot component right here and allow others to join, and it opens up and turns on the personal hotspot setting, which will be named your phones. So you can see allow others to use devices not signed in, look for your shared network, and it names it right here. My phone name is Dynamic Island, so when I search for the network right here on the wireless component over here, it's actually already began to download because I've turned on the wireless network. So you can see that it's connected to Wi-Fi in the top right with this Wi-Fi button right here, you can see that it's connected to Dynamic Island, which is the name of my phone. It remembers the password from this when I've previously updated it in the past, and it starts downloading the software update in order to successfully install it over time. So you can see how much it's downloaded, the speed, 3.3 megabytes per second here. This green progress bar to let us know how much longer it has to download the software update. And this is by far one of the best features in a Tesla, is that over time you get software updates that make your car even better than it was before you bought it. So new features come out, new software comes out, and they improve the car over time just by using the software updates. So a really cool feature from Tesla, and this is how you connect to your Wi-Fi and download a software update using a personal hotspot, or depending on whether you have Wi-Fi at your house or at your work, or if you just want to use your phone's personal hotspot to wirelessly sync over and download a software update. So with this green download arrow in the top right here lets us know that it's downloading a software update. And if you want to connect to your own work Wi-Fi or your home Wi-Fi, you just tap the Wi-Fi button, this Wi-Fi button that's at the top right here, and searching for Wi-Fi, you can select your home network or your work Wi-Fi network and go ahead and process the updates there on the software. So that's how you search for Wi-Fi and connect to your latest Wi-Fi network wherever you're at, whether it's a personal hotspot, your home Wi-Fi, or your work Wi-Fi. We can see the update progress in the application itself, where it says software update. It's downloading 2024.2.7 at 50%. And it's processing. Another fun thing that we can look at is the release notes, and it lets us know what's new in the software update. You just tap the release notes, and it lets us know that this release contains minor fixes and improvements. And we can see previous release notes like 2024.2.6 has supercharging updates in cold weather. So it says if you're heading to a charger in colder conditions, use vehicle navigation to route there. In addition to preparing the battery, this is now automatically starts warming the charge port inlet. Other tips for charging in cold weather: when you plug in, clear away ice and other debris, your charging cable connector and charge port, and check that they're fully connected. So you can see here in this update, it optimized everything around charging in cold weather. This is not something I have to do often being in California, but depending if you live in a colder city where it snows or ice gets in the port or around the car, then this is a perfect update for you to be able to read, and it warms up the outlet for you. So when you get ready to go get charging, things are not very difficult. So this is an interesting software update that they have provided. You can see in the previous one, 2024.2.3, they have a reminder to plug in at home. So you'll receive a reminder on your phone to plug your vehicle in when you park at home with less than half your charge limit. So they've made it really fun to come in here and read the release notes. Again, you can press the driver button, and the car can select where it says software, scroll down, and you got all your details for downloading your software right here on your Tesla touchscreen. And you can also access the release notes right here. You can tap that and the release notes pop open just like this, and it makes it really easy to come in here and read what's new. We get the exact same thing that we just read on our phone. It's taking a little bit to load here, so it's processing. It's downloading the software update in addition to loading the release notes. So it's having a bit of trouble, but we just wait a few minutes and it lets us know, just like we saw on our phone just a second ago, the minor fixes. This release contains minor fixes and improvements, and you can see previous updates: supercharging in cold weather, estimated battery range update, reminder to plug in at home, security improvements, over-the-air recall, and more. So really cool that you can come in here and tap on each of these updates. You can scroll down and see exactly how your car gets better over time. And this is by far one of the best features of a Tesla, that when you buy it, over time it gets better because of the software updates that they improve upon. They improve the security, they improve the features, they improve the overall user experience just by submitting a software update. So we're going to go ahead and tap on this button again and tap on the software, and it will allow us to see where we're at. So it's downloading, and we are almost ready to go. So let's go ahead and let this finish download, and we'll see what that process looks like to install a software update on our Tesla. We can see here that our update is getting very close to the end. We're downloading at 6.1 megabytes, and this is the 2024 1.2.7 update. And this is what it looks like to download a software update in the Tesla and to be able to over there update your computer, your car, your interface. Again, this update is just minor bug fixes and software improvements. When you buy a Tesla, it is incredibly impressive that this software continues to secure your car. It continues to add new features. It continues to give bug fixes and updates. And the best part is they're free. You don't have to pay a single dime to get this new software update. And over time, you get more features added to your car without having to pay a single dollar. So this is an incredibly good deal to get a better car over time. It continues to get better because the software continues to get better. So you can see here that the update, we have almost completed it at the very end of the green line here, the progress bar. We can see that we're downloading at 0 bytes per second here now, and that the green line is already filled to the very end, as it looks like. So we'll see what's coming next in order to download the software update. We can see that it is now available to install. Notification just popped up saying that software update is available on my Tesla app, so I can scroll down and check out what that looks like inside of the application. If I unlock my phone, go over to the Tesla app, I can see that I can go ahead and install this 2024.2.7 update. So if I tap on it here, it just asks me install now. So 2024.2.7, install it now. It will take approximately 25 minutes. And during the update process, you will not be able to drive the vehicle or use the touchscreen, and your car alarm may be disarmed for a short duration if enabled. So if you hit yes, it will not allow you to be able to use your car, the touchscreen, and the alarm will be disabled. You can also, I'm going to go ahead and hit no and show you what it looks like on the screen. If I go ahead and tap software update, I can go ahead and schedule a software update, or I can install now. So I can say install at 2 a.m. It'll approximately take 25 minutes. To begin, park your car, close your doors. You'll not be able to drive or use your touchscreen. Your alarm may be disarmed for a short duration. So you can read the release notes, you can schedule the update, or you can go ahead and install it now. So whether you want to install this on your phone or install it on the touchscreen, either one, whatever you like in terms of your preference, you can do. I'm going to go ahead and put my phone back over here, and I'm going to go ahead and just say install now for our update. So it lets us know that the software update will begin. It will take approximately 25 minutes to install. Park your car, close your doors. You'll not be able to drive or use your touchscreen. Your alarm may be disarmed for a short period of time. So we're good to go. Our car is parked. Our doors are closed, and we will not be able to drive. And it just goes ahead and counts down here from 1 minute and 30 seconds and counting as we process this brand new software update here in the Tesla. And we'll go ahead and get started with it. All right, so here we have it. It's getting close. We've got less than 10 seconds until it begins the update, the 2024.2.7, and it will begin, and we'll see what that looks like. If we zoom out here, we can see, there we go, software updating to 2024.2.7. Update starting, do not drive until complete. So you will not have access to be able to drive your car or use the touchscreen or use any of the applications that are on the Tesla. And it said it will take approximately 25 minutes. So the screen goes black, we get the Tesla logo, and we get this loading bar that lets us know that it is installing the software update. So we're good to go. I'm going to go ahead and let this process, and we'll be right back once it's complete. Updating autopilot, driver assistance, and dash cam disabled. Do not drive until complete. Updating electronic control units, driving and charging disabled. Do not drive until complete. Finishing update, driving disabled. Do not drive until complete. So we can see we're almost at the finish line here. The progress bar is almost done, and we'll be able to use the touchscreen and drive again. And last, it's rebooting, driving disabled. So we've gotten all the way to the very end of the software update, and it's going to reboot the touchscreen computer, and we'll be able to use our computer in the car and the Tesla one more time. So you can see as it's restarting right here, the screen goes black for a few moments here, and we're not able to use it. There's no update on the screen. And as it processes this reboot, it may take a few minutes here as it restarts the touchscreen computer, as it successfully installs the software update on this car. And that's even wild to think about. We're installing a software update on a car, and the car's getting better completely for free over time with brand new technology, brand new bug fixes, brand new releases. And I think that's one of the best value propositions of having a Tesla or EV, where software updates over time, the car gets better and it continues to get better, and you don't have to pay a single dime extra in order for it to get better. And that's just the way technology works. You improve upon it, you make it better, and you get brand new features over time. So as it reboots here, we'll be able to see what it looks like when the computer turns itself back on, and we're able to use the car interface one more time. So it is taking a few moments here as it reboots the Tesla software with this brand new update, and as it restarts here, we'll be able to use it sooner than later. So don't be alarmed if you just see a black screen. You're not able to use it, you're not able to do anything. It does take a few moments here as it processes the reboot, and we'll be able to use it in a minute here. And here we have it. The Tesla logo has appeared back on the screen. The software update loading screen appeared briefly, and we have progress. There's something on the screen. We've got the logo on the screen, and that's a good sign. So it does take a few moments, a few minutes here for it to successfully reboot and for your car to turn back on after it installs the software update. But it's really good to see the Tesla logo right here on the screen, and we are good to go. Our car is back on, the media source is loading, the update release notes here are loading, and we are almost good to go to use our Tesla with this brand new software update. So you can see the owner's manual pops open. We can go ahead and scroll through this owner's manual. Any updates that have processed new things, like new software, will be of course in the owner's manual. We can tap on overview, and it takes us exactly to we can tap on touchscreen, so the status bar, the navigation, the car status. Remember earlier we connected it to Wi-Fi to install this update. We just tap over here to search for Wi-Fi. We turn on our hotspot and we connect it to it to download it. And if you're near work Wi-Fi or home Wi-Fi, you can do this. But we have successfully installed the software update, and it pops up with the owner manual for us to go ahead and review any of the new changes or learn how to use the software right here on our device. We can see, since we're not connected to Wi-Fi anymore, just had the LTE cellular connection at the very top there. We can go ahead and tap the driver section to get all of our menu options again. I'm going to go ahead and tap software, and when I scroll down here, you'll be able to see that your car software is up to date as of February 24th at 3:48 p.m. and we are good to go. With the navigation data and the software version, we're on 2024.2.7, and we are on the latest software. So this is a good thing. As soon as you get your Tesla, you want to make sure that you're up to date on the latest software. It does take a few minutes, about 25 minutes for that software update to install successfully, and then some time for it to download too, and you'll need to be connected to Wi-Fi. One of the cool features in the Tesla is that video games are on the touchscreen. They only work when you're parked, but you just open up the arcade app and you've got full access to a variety of video games, some which you can even use the steering wheel to control. So you can see here, we've got all these various different games. They're very fun to play. This is perfect when you're at a supercharger, or if you want to relax and you're parked, you can just go ahead and tap a game, hit play, and get started. So warning, do not use gear stalk or accelerator pedal while playing. The vehicle's front wheels will move when you turn the steering wheel during game control. Keep the area around front wheels clear while playing games with the steering wheel. Additionally, you must be prepared for vehicle controls like accelerator, brake pedal, and gear stalk to resume normal driving control functions as soon as you exit the game. Do not allow children to play unattended. So big warning for us, you don't want to use the accelerator while playing this game. So we'll go ahead and hit play, and we'll move forward. It'll load up the game for us, and then we can be in a race car game on this lovely touchscreen. Beach Buggy Racing 2 on the Tesla. It does take a few minutes to load here, but very fun to play and very interesting to load. So it's loading up, and we'll be able to demo a quick game here for you all, because you'll be able to play this in your Tesla, whether you're charging or whether you're parked at home. You can say how many players you want, 1 player or 2 players. We'll go ahead and tap 1. Let's turn up the volume a little bit. I think there's some audio here. So volume, we'll go ahead and turn up the volume, and you can hear. All right, cool. So we got some volume turned on. We'll go ahead and hit 1 player here, and perfect to play this on a rainy day inside of our Tesla. We'll select our character that we want, and then we'll go ahead and hit continue. And then we'll select our car. We've only got 1 car option right now, so we'll go ahead and hit continue for that, and we are good to go. Now we'll select our track, and then we'll just go ahead and select an option there, and it loads it up. It saves it to the profile, and we can begin to play right here using the steering wheel. And it's very fun and very cool to accelerate here. So we've got a little Cybertruck here. We got some other Tesla Model 3s. And 3, 2, 1, go! So we can drive around right here on this game. And as you can see, we're using the steering wheel in the car to actually drive the video game. So very cool options that we've got right here. You just twist the steering wheel to the left and right. Oh, we crashed into a few things. Oh no, and then to the wall. So we can back up here. So you can see here we're in last place, but that's okay. We're just demoing the process here, as you can play a video game using the steering wheel right here. So really cool options that we got built right into the Tesla. So if you're at a charging station, or if you're at home, or if you're parked, as long as you're parked, you can use the steering wheel to play around and drive around in this race car track and play a nice fun video game right here on the Tesla. So cool options that we've got. So you can see here, as we approach the finish line, we can select another item here and zoom us all the way to the very top. So you can also use the touchscreen controls on the tablet, on the touchscreen itself, and instead of see, we got second place there. So if you don't want to use the steering wheel, you can use the touchscreen. No need to use the steering wheel, but it's really cool that you can use the steering wheel. So really cool options that we got right here built into the Tesla to play video games right here on our screen. It's definitely a computer on wheels and really impressive. You may be wondering, how do you charge your car? You can charge for home if you set up an installation process and install the power adapter to your electrical outlets and setups, depending on if you have like a garage or a power outlet near your wall. So you can charge at home, or you can charge on the go using superchargers or additional chargers that are around in your network. And one thing that's really cool is when you network and map out a supercharger to charge at, it will start preconditioning the battery to get started for charging. If we go to our navigate button right here, we can access under charging all of the superchargers that are nearby in order to get started charging at our favorite supercharger. So now we can see a list of superchargers that are nearby and what their current max is and how much it costs to charge there. And then all you have to do is just select the supercharger that you want to go to, and then it will pre-navigate it for you, and it will allow the battery to start preconditioning for you to supercharge. So now we've selected a supercharger, and it's navigating it and putting the instructions on how to get to it, and it says preconditioning battery for fast charging. So let's go ahead and map our way to the supercharger and plug up to charge our car. We can tap on this at the very top. We see we have 119 miles left. We can tap on it and instantly get the battery percentage. So it's at 54% left. We can tap on the battery icon to get energy. So it lets us know that we're at 54%, our charge limit, and how it looks. So let's go ahead and start charging. So we're gonna go ahead and navigate to the supercharger and see what it looks like to plug up. We've arrived at our supercharger, and we can go ahead and get set up. All we have to do is, with our phone nearby, tap open the charge port, and you see where you plug it in at. You just go over here and you take the component off and you plug it in to your charge port, and you press the button and it starts to charge. So you just plug it in and you press the button in order to start charging. And on the dashboard, the touchscreen inside the car, it tells you how much longer it takes to charge and the percentage. You can also see that inside of the application here. When you open up the Tesla app, you can see once it connects, it will allow you to see how long it is until charge. So charge limit set to 80%, and it's gone ahead and starting to charge. So you can see once you plug it up, it has all the information on the dashboard. 25 minutes remaining to charge. We're at 52%, and it shows the rate and speed of it charging right here on the touchscreen inside of the car. Inside of the Tesla app, when you're charging your car, you get to see all of the details right here on your screen. So you can see that there's 25 minutes left until remaining to the charge limit. I can adjust the charge limit using this dial pad right here. I can adjust what the charge limit will be, and that will stop the car at that limit. Right now I have it set to 100. Ideally, you want to have your charge limit set to 80% unless you're doing extensive like road trips and you need all the juice that you can possibly get, because at 80% it doesn't overload the battery that much, but at 100% it does. So the more you charge your car to 100%, there's no specific science around it, but ideally people recommend that you do not charge it to 100% all the time. So you've got various different options right here inside of the charging component. When you plug up your Tesla, you can see here that we've got 20 minutes remaining until charge limit, and then this little icon that lets us know that the battery heating is on for optimal performance. When your car is charging, no one can go up to the charge port and disconnect the power and stop it from charging, because your phone does need to be nearby for it to unlock itself. You can see here at the very bottom, you can stop the charging from your phone, or you can unlock the charge port remotely. So you have various options right here. You can hit the 3 dots right here too and share feedback to Tesla based off this charging. One feedback that I'm going to share is right now charging experience is about 4 out of 5 stars. It dates it March 2nd as I record in the supercharging, and then I can hit next, and then it says, what do you like about the experience? No wait times, charge rate, pricing, site upkeep, site access, amenities, and others. I'm going to go far and say that the wait times have been good at this charging station, and then I'll hit next. And then the piece of feedback that I'm going to share is a live activity for iOS would be nice. So I'm swiping this, that misspelled it, will reswipe, would be nice on my lock screen. So I'll go ahead and submit that, and then we'll send some feedback off just like that. So you got various options right here to notice the charging speed. You've got all the details in the top left component, and then under here the charging port, you get this lovely animation of the green charging signal going into the car as it powers the car and charges it up. So this is very different from spending 5 minutes at a gas station and filling up. You do end up having to wait 30 minutes to 60 minutes to charge up your car to get it to full speed and full power in order to use it successfully. So that's something you need to factor in when you do road trips or when you're commuting long distance. It's really helpful to go into the Tesla navigation app and route your trip, and it will make sure that you have the correct superchargers nearby in order to complete that trip successfully. So we can see here there's 5 minutes remaining, less than 5 minutes, because we're almost at our limit. In the top right, you can see that the battery's at 221 miles, and there's a limit of 222. You can see the miles per hour there as it charges, and how many miles we've gained. 107 miles gained on this charging station that we've had here. And we can always go to our applications and open up the energy component and track our usage. So you can see previous usage, and since we just started this charge, we've not used any miles so far, and we are almost done with charging this completely. We'll be full at 100%. We can tap the miles again to see that we're at 99%, and that we are almost complete and almost good to go. And overall, this energy tab here tracks your usage. It tracks your driving, how much energy is used by driving, how much energy is used by your climate, your AC, your controls, how many miles are used by battery conditioning, the elevation, and everything else. So you can come in here to the drive component after you've charged up and see all those various different stats to see your energy consumption and then versus the trip projection and any range tips that it has here. So our live projection right now is that we are at 207.5 miles. So we've got options for park, seeing how many miles consumed since park and how many miles consumed overall. So this is a lovely graph that we have right here that we can see in terms of consumption. Our average is 331 and our projected is 140 miles per range. You can change the options right here for the last 30 miles, the last 15 miles, and the last 5 miles to get those numbers up and to see how they look for you. And then of course you can change it to instant range versus the average range. So instant range projects at 111 miles, and then the average that I get over time is 140 miles. So you've got all kinds of settings right here in the Tesla to manage your energy, to charge up. All you have to do is just tap the battery icon and it takes you to the charging component. You can see here that we're at 221 miles. We're almost at our limit of 222, and that our charge limit was set for 100. You can see that 80% is recommended for daily driving. You can see how much it costs. So $10.23 per this session, and any supercharging tips. You can unlock the charge port, and you can see here that our charging is complete. It has the message up here, and then we also get a notification on the phone that lets us know that the supercharging is complete at 12:06 p.m. with battery at 221 miles. Idle fees may begin occurring 5 minutes after charging session ended, so please move your vehicle so others can charge. So this is important, to move your vehicle and don't leave it here in the supercharging station, otherwise you will be charged for idle fees. And of course you'll want to share the chargers with other Teslas and other EVs as they appear. You don't want to be parked here all day and then they wouldn't be able to use the car or charge their cars. So we can open this up and see all the details here of our Tesla and the charging component. We're at 222 miles. The battery heating is on for optimal performance, and 108 miles was added during our last charging station, and we are good to go in order to start driving. So we are fully charged at 100%. The car is parked, and now all we have to do is open up our car. In order to open the car, this door, it's not a handle, so you will need to put your finger on the little button here, press it and push forward, and that opens the car door. And then we can go over here and disconnect the charger right here, so it doesn't come out. You have to press the button and then that releases it, and of course your cell phone has to be nearby in order to authorize that. You can see it closed right there, and you just put it right back up there, and you're good to go. And we successfully charged our car, and we can hop back in, and we are ready to take off. So it was just that simple. All you had to do was just plug up your car, wait, shop around, walk around, and then come back to your car, and you're all good to go. So that's a little different from your typical gas stations where you have to fill up in less than 5 minutes and you take off. You do have to wait for the Tesla. You do have to track your time and your distance. So that was a sample session there of charging your car at a Tesla supercharging station. Let's take a look at the Tesla app inside of your operating system here on a phone. You can just open the Tesla app, and this is what it looks like. You can see here we've got the Model 3. You can see the range. We've got 215 miles left at the very top there. You can see that it is parked. We can go ahead and play around with the controls that we have on the Tesla. First up is the lock control. We can press that and lock the car. We can go over here. We can see the climate is on. We can turn that off. We've got charging stats right there. And then we've got the front, which we can open up just like that. We can scroll down here. We can see our music controls. They've got an option to refer and earn. We've got live camera mode sensory enabled. Next up is controls. You can come in here. You can flash the lights. You can honk the horn. You can start the car, or you can vent it. You can see that the front is open. You can open the trunk and you can unlock it just like that. So you've got various options to control the car. Really cool that you can come in here and do that from the control. You can also, on the top right, you can adjust the PSI and see what the PSI is on all 4 tires. Recommended cold pressure at 45 PSI. So really cool options that we got there under controls. Next up is climate. So climate can be adjusted anywhere in the world. You know, if you're inside your house and you want to turn on your seat warmer, you just go under climate and you turn on the heat. You can adjust the heat levels between 1, 2, and 3. You can turn them on for the back passenger seats, and you just tap in order to adjust the climate. So that allows you to turn on the heated seats just like that. You can come in here, you can see that the exterior is 70 degrees Fahrenheit and the exterior is 52 degrees Fahrenheit. You can come in here, you can turn on climate, and climate turns on just like that. And you can adjust it right from your phone. So if you're in the house and you want to warm up the car, you can do that. You can warm it all the way up to 80, and you can vent the doors just like that, and it opens the windows just like that with the vent. We can close the vents. So if it's a hot day and you want to vent the car, you can just press that button and the cars will vent automatically just like that. So really cool options. You can defrost the car. You can turn on camp mode. You can turn on dog mode. You can turn on cabin overheat protection so it won't overheat it, and you've got approximate activation temperatures right there. So really cool options that we have right here inside of the Tesla climate controls that you can modify. This is perfect for when you are in the house and you want to warm up the car, you want to cool it down. You just press on the climate connections and you can go ahead and set your current climate recommendations, and it will do that wirelessly from your phone. So really cool options that we've got right there inside of the climate control. You can tap on location and see exactly where your car is. You can see nearby chargers. You can navigate to any of those. If we want to navigate to a nearby charger, we just press the navigate button. It lets us know the busiest times, 0 stalls are out and available, and which ones are out of order. You can see photos for it and more. So really cool options that we have right here inside the app to check that out under location. Next up is summon. This allows us to move our car around. And, if you want to summon your car in a parking lot, you can use the summon feature. You're parked 7 feet away and it will drive itself to you and it will go to the target that you look for. So really cool options that we have there. Next up is schedule. You can head over to the schedule option to go ahead and schedule a departure, a precondition, or an off-peak charge. And you have various options here for scheduling. You can go over, if you plug up your car, you can schedule it to charge at a certain time rather than it always charging at night. And then same with a departure. You can set a precondition, set climate and preheat battery. You can tell it at what time that you do it each week, and then it will automatically go ahead and do those things for you. So really cool options that you have right here inside of the Tesla app. Really cool options that you have right here inside the Tesla app to go ahead and schedule some settings to happen automatically. Next up is security and drivers. So here is where you can turn on sensory mode, where you can view the live camera when you're outside the car, and it will protect and record any things that happen. You can turn on valet mode, limit access to the vehicle. You can turn on a speed limit mode, so it will limit the top speed. You can require a PIN to drive the vehicle. You can manage drivers and add additional people. They can download the Tesla app, sign in, and then you can invite them to manage your car. You've got the phone key, which automatically unlocks and starts with the mobile device when it is near. And you have access to adding a key card, setting up Bluetooth audio, and more right here under security and drivers. So really cool options that we have there. So I'll go ahead and zoom out and we'll go back to our main screen here. Next up, we can see upgrades and charge stats. Let's tap on charge stats. We can see over the last few days, the last 31 days, I spent $154 on charging the car. You can see it's been 100% at a supercharger, and it saved me about $13 in gas. So you can see all of the details there for this month over the last 31 days of charging at a supercharger. And of course, if you charge at home, work, or other, it'll show up there and you can have all the various details to that. So that's charge stats in the app. Let's go back. Next up is upgrades. You can see that you have software upgrades, extended service agreement, and accessories. We previously went into accessories to get our additional key cards, but you can come here for software upgrades. You can buy the full self-driving for $6,000 and more. And then you can come here for the extended service agreement and accessories and manage upgrades right here. So you can see the premium connectivity expires on March 5th, and we can go ahead and subscribe to that. That's our 30 days free, and we've got enhanced autopilot and rear heated seats included. So various different options right here. We can limit in-car purchases, and you can see what's inactive on our car. So we don't have any inactive upgrades, and we are good to go. So let's go back to our settings here. We can go back and see what else we have. We've gone over upgrades. Next is safety score. If you have Tesla insurance, in some states, your safety score can help out with your insurance premiums. You can tap on this and see what your safety score is and see things that you can improve upon. Your driving behavior, like forward collision warnings, hard braking, excessive turning, unsafe following, excessive speeding, late night driving, forced autopilot disengagements, and unbuckled driving. So you've got various different options here. Monitors your safety. You can tap on it and see the various different things that you do when you drive your car inside of the Tesla. So really cool option that we've got right here under the safety score. And then the last two options are service and roadside. So this is very helpful if you want to get your car serviced. You can request a tech to come out and visit you. You can just request service, say what's wrong, what's not working, what needs to be fixed, and you can go ahead and schedule that out, and they'll come out and help with you. So really cool that Tesla has that kind of service. And the last side is roadside. If you get stuck on the road, you can come over and say why you're stuck. You get a flat tire, drivability concern, charging, or other. And you can go ahead and send this request in and get immediate roadside assistance, and select your car condition and let them know where you need help at. So really cool options that we've got there for roadside right here inside of our app. So this has been an overview of the Tesla app for our Model 3. You can download the application in the App Store or on your Play Store. You download the Tesla app. It looks like this. You just download the Tesla app, you pair your car, you sign in with a Tesla account, and you are good to go. So really cool features. We've gone over things like our controls, our climate, using the app to open doors, and the trunk, the front, and additional things like the charging port. We've gone over supercharging in the application and all the various different details that you can use this mobile application for when you are using your Tesla. Want to promote your business in front of tech enthusiasts? You can sponsor AppFind to get a shout out on a video or even your own dedicated video. To learn more, see our rate card and request a sponsorship. You can click our link in the description to Passion Fruit to learn more and inquire about a sponsorship. So this has been a complete beginner's guide of the Tesla Model 3 2020. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Let us know what your favorite feature of the Tesla Model 3 is in the comments below. And if you're not subscribed, be sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on the notification bells to figure out when we release our next technology video. We love producing these technology videos for you and can't wait to see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.